Hello, everybody, and welcome to Four Fathers, the Dad Blueprint. I'm Akeem Bennett. This is,
Derek Bell.
and we are going to be your host as we take you on this journey to really deep dive in to what makes the perfect dad. Uh, Derek, tell us a little bit about why you decided we should do this. Because this is Derek's idea. Derek said, King, I think we should do this, put a podcast out there, get the folks some information. So, Derek, tell us a little bit about who you are and why you want to do this.
Well, my name is Derek Bell. I'm from South Florida, Fort Lauderdale, and I live
Oh,
in Tallahassee.
oh
I'm a
Lord.
transplant, so I've been here quite a long time. But anyway, my father passed away when I was 8 years old, so I kind of had a very challenging upbringing without having my dad around, and it shaped, a lot of things in my life as far as how I would matriculate into a grown man. And when I got to a point where I was a man and I decided to have a family, the skills that I lacked as a father became a lot more obvious. So a lot of times I struggled and I made decisions that all weren't always the right decisions, but I thought they were the best for myself at the time. So as I began to matriculate in life and see my children progress, one day I said, hey, why not take the things that you saw that you struggle with and share those things, like
Hmm.
help others have a blueprint through your mistakes. Because there's no way that God would put you through so many obstacles and challenges not to make others load lighter. So that gave me the idea to come up with a nonprofit that could service fathers, that could support fathers, Lift One. So with Lift One, it's a nonprofit for fathers to help them with resources and services to help them navigate the trials and tribulations of fatherhood, the valleys, as well as the mountains. I mean, I've seen it all. There's so many things I've been through as a father, great experiences. I love being a dad. I just didn't have the knowledge to be the best dad I could.
Hmm.
So, getting this platform to also bring awareness, as well as having some amazing guests, talk about some amazing topics. And my hope is that we will enlighten fathers, educate fathers, and also entertain fathers. And if that's the worst case scenario, I think we'll be very successful. So knowing Akeem, and we've worked together before in Toastmasters, 100 Black Men, we both are service oriented. We're both are community people. I felt this would be an amazing time to get a podcast going, and that's why we're here.
Yeah, for real though, I think it's one of those things where too often we assume that people just know what to do. And for my personal self, I enjoy community service. I enjoy working with other people because just like you said, it's letting people know that these opportunities are out there. No offense, but I do feel that the dads, we don't get enough love when mom and dad don't work out. Everyone's, oh my gosh, the mom, but the dad, we need help too. So we're hoping that this is just another avenue to really drive home the point that there are services, there are opportunities, there are ways to help enhance what we know as dads. And that's why we called it the Dad Blueprint. Because just like any blueprint, there's a whole bunch of houses that you can build. There's
That's
no
right.
perfect dad. But what we can do is always strive for excellence.
That's right.
So if you guys are tuning in for the first time, we appreciate you taking this journey with us as we learn about ourselves, we learn about each other, we learn about you. Just to kind of give you an idea, I'm a newer dad. I'm what you folks call it. I believe what is it, gentle parenting? So
Gentleman.
I'm not a gentle parent.
How old?
Mine is three. Three going on 33. This man, I was taking him to school the other day, and we're walking out the house. I got my bag on my back. I got my lunch box under another arm. I got his coat. We walk into the car, and out of nowhere, he stopped and said, I'll take my milk and muffins in the car. They talk about Job and his patience.
Right.
And I don't know how Job did it, but I can tell you something. I almost said some words that I don't usually say around my child.
Hallelujah.
And yeah, those moments like that,
Right.
it can really try your patience.
Trust me, I've been there. I mean, my oldest is 30 and my baby is 17. So I've been through so many, the gamut. Pick an issue I haven't been in.
Seen it
Boyfriend,
all.
girlfriends. I remember I was talking to my son this weekend, my youngest son, and he lives in Texas with a couple of his buddies. They're all from Leon County. They
Hmm.
migrated to Texas, Austin. And I was laughing at them because one night they all had a party that all three of these young men were at, and nobody was answering their cell phones. And the moms and me and the parents all teamed up, and we were taking turns doing drive-bys. And even to this weekend, my son was like, "Dad, I was at work." I'm like, "Boy, you was at that party."
Yeah.
We're lying. 10 years, he's still lying 10 years later, you
I'm trying
know?
to tell you, man. I'm trying to tell you. Look, you grown, man. You pay your own rent. You pay your own rent. You go where you go. You put gas in the car. You take it where you want to take it.
Right.
But yeah, so it's we say all this to say we come across a tremendous amount of backgrounds, different perspectives, and that's what we're hoping to bring you here on Forefathers, the Dad's Blueprint. Definitely give us a like, give us a subscribe. You got comments, put them down below. How often is this going to come out? We just told you we're busy people with a lot of children. All right, I got the one, but he counts as 20. All right, that's
Right.
how it really works. So that being said, we're gonna get this out consistently. We're gonna make sure that we really kind of hit you over the head with all types of new information, anything that we feel that we want to bring up. What kind of topics we gonna go over? Everything from helping you understand what things are out there for fathers as they try to traverse the legal system, or what options they have when it comes to parenting, and of course the one thing that I feel not enough conversation is had about how to discipline
Amen.
your child. How to discipline your child.
Bury the rod, spoil the
You
child.
know that there's just so many different takes on it, and I actually give a shout out to Team Dad. It's part of the Healthy Start initiative here in Leon County, another nonprofit. Uh, I actually had to learn that there's a difference between punishment and discipline, because as y'all can probably tell, I'm black. And when I say black, I mean, I know I'm in Florida, but I'm African American black. If you go back far enough, we on the boat
Right.
black. Discipline and punishment were very interchangeable words, very interchangeable words. And it literally wasn't until maybe 2 months ago that I even learned there's a difference in the two. Punishment happens because of your consequences.
Right.
Discipline is the correction. Discipline is not necessarily the physical correction. Discipline is teaching, is leading, is helping them learn, helping them understand.
Right.
Like
Right.
like my mentor can discipline me and educate me, but he ain't fit to punish me.
Yeah.
So different topics like that, and I think the one thing that I really enjoy with you, Derek, is we can talk about these things from different
Oh,
perspectives.
trust me. I mean, I grew up getting my butt beat. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? My mom, my dad, my mom would pick up the race car track, the bedroom slipper. It did not matter. The album cover.
oh, you got if you get beat
and
down with Jimi Hendrix, man, I don't know. I gotta.
I feel guilty because I have four children, two boys, two girls. I've never spanked my girls,
Mm,
and my boys got it in. I got it in on them whenever they needed it. So I'm on the fence. I think that it's funny. One time I was displaying my youngest son. He was like, "Why are you always cursing? Is that because you don't know how to communicate?" And I'm like, "Wow, like that was a teaching moment for me because
First of all, I'm hurt. You touch a little too close to home there.
teaching moment." But it was like, you
Hmm.
know what? You finna get this spanking, but you're right.
You might have disciplined me, but I'm gonna punish you for what you done
Right,
did.
right. So it's like, just learning as I went along, shaped who I am now.
Hmm.
I do believe in discipline, but like I said before, it depends on the situation.
Absolutely.
I'm not just going to take out a belt because you got an F.
Absolutely.
So I just think that every father has his own right from how he's raised, what his values are. So there's no wrong or right because ultimately you're responsible for your child.
Hmm. 100%. And to that point, my father was raised with a single mom and three other brothers. They walk behind in that house
Oh
because
yeah.
you have to.
Oh yeah.
And even now, there are times where with my son, I can tell, no, me and him are going to fight one day.
Right.
And my wife say, no, don't speak violence. No, 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 no. As now I'm a father. I didn't get it when I was a kid. Like, why these men always getting on me? But now I see and I understand. There are different ways that you have to approach boys and girls. Boys come with testosterone and they will push your buttons. They will
Oh yeah.
try things because that's what our genetic makeup tells us to do.
That's right.
You have, if you're going to lead your pack, you need to know how far your pack can go. How
That's
far
right.
can I push them? How far can I take them?
That's right.
And I knew when my son turned 2 years old, I already knew. One day I'm gonna have to hit him in his chest hard, hard. I'm not gonna want to do it. No, let me phrase it. Let me phrase that. I'm going to want to do it, but I'm going to hope there's a better way.
Right.
But I know sometimes with boys, you just got to put them paws on them. How did our scrappy mama say? You got to put them paws on them.
One time I remember I prayed so much, I said, God, I don't want to hurt my son. Please straighten this boy out. And like I said, me, not having a dad, I just learned what I saw. So I
Mhm.
pretty much was like, I'm gonna fuss at you. I'm gonna curse you out. I'm gonna tear your butt up, and you're gonna act right. But as my children got older, that didn't always work.
Mhm.
So I had to kind of figure that thing out. So
And see, look, we lucky. We kind of got a little bit of meat on our
right,
bones.
right.
And you 5'7", a 180. I don't suggest you try to keep hitting your son with no belt. That's not a
Nah,
that's not a conversation or argument anyone trying to have.
nah. One time my son told his mom, I think my dad want to fight me because we had been just going at it. And he's a great young man. But like I said, when they were teenagers getting that testosterone, I had to put that fear in them because I knew what the streets would do.
Mm-hmm.
And I always said, I had an uncle said, you know what? It's better you to do it than the police.
Amen.
And so I always felt like I was the last line of defense
Mm-hmm.
before worse. So I'm doing it through love. So, discipline is always, like I said, it's a touchy situation within our community. We all grew up. I had friends where I grew up at, they got beat with the water hose.
Oh man.
I mean, my
Listen,
mom used a belt and stuff, but I saw guys get hit with extension cords, water hose. So I
I
mean,
got the last time I had beat with a belt, I might have been in sixth grade. My daddy beat me with the belt. Now, okay, disclaimer. Me and my pops we cool now. I've fully forgive him for any and everything. It would absolutely be considered everything we went through would absolutely be considered abuse nowadays.
right, right,
So
right. You going to
don't y'all
jail?
go out there hitting y'all kids with
You
water.
going to jail?
Put the water hose down. Don't hit the kid with a water hose. But he actually, I remember when he hit me with the belt, and the belt was old belt. The belt broke.
Wow.
He went and got the cutting board.
Oh yeah, he was upset.
He went and got the cutting board. Then the
You
cutting board
you
broke.
broke that belt
Oh,
in
listen,
his mind.
listen, listen. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't even remember what I did. I do know that that particular beating, I do believe I deserved. And it's not one of those, I ain't even do no, no, no. I'm
Right,
pretty sure I did something to deserve this one.
right.
I'm not even gonna lie to you now. I ain't gonna tell truth, shame the devil, as they say. But he went out and looked up the laws. It was the first time I seen my father do research. And he looked up the laws. We grew up in South Carolina, so you already know the laws is all kinds of jacked up.
Oh yeah.
And he had a board made, a paddling board
Wow.
that was within regulation. Took it to the court. Court said it was fine and everything. And that's what he used from middle school through about halfway through high school. Because after that, I was like, you just got to shoot me. I'm not taking you, not hitting me with that no more. So it's one of those things where and to that point, like I said, I totally forgive my parents. Like why? Because what you expect them to do? They only can do what they know. And trust me, what I heard they went through, I'm very happy with what I got.
Right.
So that's I think that's part of what we want to do here. We want to talk about give you those options, let you know that no matter how you were raised, no matter what you were told, no matter what you were shown, there are always other options. And that's not just even with disciplined kids, man.
Right.
Interacting with their mama,
Yeah.
they mamas.
Now, you didn't
Derek, they
touch the
mamas.
nerve there now.
Oh my goodness. Shout out to my bae. We're married. I've been happily married for a little over 9 years now. And that's who I that's my baby mama, my wife. That's who I
Congratulations.
got thank you. Um, choosing a mate is hard.
Very.
Uh, when you have a child with a mate that you did not necessarily choose,
It's true.
harder,
True.
harder. It, it's and these conversations like we having right now, a lot of people don't have those conversations. People that are in love with one another don't have a conversation.
Right.
How are we going to discipline our kids?
That's true.
How are we going to raise our kids? Are we going to church? What church we going to?
Right. Right.
Like,
And
there's a whole lot going on
and
today.
these days, it's like when we grew up, respect was given. So
Hmm.
nowadays, you say, well, we're not spanking our kids as much, but we're the respect is not the same either. Like there's days where you can see social media where kids are out in the street fighting like grown men.
Oh,
So it's like
mm,
there's a fraction of our community that does not. You can tell they have not been parented by a strong man.
yeah,
And nothing against single mothers, but I think that boys need to see a father figure or a mentor or a role model to kind of show them how to move,
absolutely.
how to handle themselves with conflict, how to handle themselves with relationships, how to handle themselves with day-to-day problems. A lot of times our boys don't have the toolage or the knowledge to be effective. So I don't even blame them as much as I blame, you know, blame us.
Well, they're a product of their environment.
Right.
Just like we've been saying, you can be the smartest person in the world, and you make one wrong move,
Right.
it's all downhill. There's
Right.
been, I am so lucky. Let me make sure I top on some wood here. I'm 35 years old, and I've never been on a police booking report. I've never been in handcuffs. Why? Because even though my father was rambunctious, my father done been locked up. He'll tell you quick. He'll do a night in jail. He ain't got no
Right.
problem with it. A weekend? Come on. Now more than a few days. Now you'll give him the slowest roll. But the one thing that I will always remember is, uh, in fact, I'll tell you this story. We were in South Carolina at a Pet Boys. To this day, I don't go in Pet Boys. My dad is actually banned from Pet Boys. Um, it's all right. It all makes sense. So we went into Pet Boys. It was late at night. I don't really remember what was going on. I just know that we needed something out of Pet Boys. I mean, we're men.
Right.
There's stuff you can do with your hands in there. We go in there, we play around,
Got to get it.
Um, and this guy was, it was the end of the day, and I think they were like ready to close or something. And my dad he's like, y'all need to, go on and hustle up out of here. I was like, hey man, I'm almost done. So the two of them going back and forth. Now, when my dad said, hey man, I'm almost done, I can let you know now, that's not how he said it.
Right.
That's how I'm going to say it, but that's not how he said it. The two of them get back and forth and arguing. And before you know it, the police is called because these two is sitting here having a shout match about to go fight. And as the police came and took my father, first thing he's everything, he stopped, looked me dead in my face, and say, "Don't you say a word, don't you do nothing. Go over there and call your mother." And you know what I did? I went and called my mom,
Right.
have her come out there. No matter what was going on, he did not want me getting involved in any type of situation.
Right.
And then after that, there were times, and he had spent the night in the jail.
Right.
Yeah, I had to go over there, you go get him and get him out of jail and everything. That was a learning experience for me. But what it taught me was the person that I knew always got into fights. That's
Right.
how it was. He knew that because his child was there, he needed to move differently.
Right. Right.
And that stuck with me. Me and you out in the streets, you want to talk back and forth, we could talk all day. We could talk all day. But I'm gonna tell you two things I ain't gonna do. I'm not fighting you. I'm too old for that.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm too big. Ain't nobody fighting me fair. I'm getting shot. What you mean? What you mean? You gonna fight a big man fair? You a fool. You a fool. Ain't nobody fighting a big man fair. I'm getting hit with a
You
brick.
got a point.
Somebody gonna hit me with a brick.
You got a point.
And then number two, man, my family with me. Hey, you call me what you want to call me. I'm gonna
That's
go
right.
ahead and go home.
Right.
I'm gonna go home. And those types of things. Like you said, it's one of those where we grew up where the fear was demanded of
Right.
us.
Right.
It's not that godly fear of I don't want to disappoint my parents. It's the what in the world will they hit me with this time? But you know what that did is it kept us out of trouble.
You did.
I don't need to join no gang. I know what my daddy gonna do to me. I know what my mama
Yeah.
gonna do. And that's the other part too. I think it's an overcorrection with this gentle parenting.
Yeah, I do.
Like like your son said, I don't need you to yell at me. I don't need you to hit me all the time. Like you ain't got to do that. But at the same time, some accountability has to be made. And that's where we're lacking. We went from too
The
much
fact that he could even
punishment.
tell me that, because I couldn't tell my dad that,
Oh,
even as a 7-year old.
to,
So the fact that he could tell me that
I couldn't even I couldn't make
shows you how much.
suggestions on what was for dinner. What are you? I'm a t- you just can't communicate.
Right,
Okay, so after you finish picking your teeth up off the floor, we can have a conversation about this tomorrow when I'm
right,
no longer angry with you.
right. And
But
I
yeah,
and I like I said, I'm all for great, mothers parenting,
mhm,
but I feel that our community, our society, we're having issues because of the lack of men stepping up.
absolutely.
So I think that's probably the biggest issue with me is, being a man that I could, be accountable for being a father. Raising my kids was not easy. I mean, my children have seen me incarcerated. They've seen me locked up. They've seen me, you know, homeless. They've seen me catching the bus. So I mean,
Mhm,
I've been through every scenario
mhm.
type of struggle. It's those years are behind me. But the thing is, I think it showed them, just what it's really about.
Yeah,
So people say, your grandparent, yeah. I'm like, no, because my kids know it's more than just having a picture on your desk.
amen.
They know that parenting is a big sacrifice. I mean, I routinely had a real job, a part-time job. I was selling DVDs, I was fixing laptops. I had a second, I mean, it's if you're going to be a good parent, the sacrifices are endless.
Absolutely.
And if you don't have that mind frame, or you have not been shown that, and most of our young male parents haven't been shown that because they haven't been shown it by a man.
Hmm.
So that's why the cycle continues. So it's kind of like, you got to get that mindset to where, what, my child is the most important thing to me.
Yeah,
And I think it can happen. It's not gonna happen overnight, but I think, like we say in 100 Black Men, they will be what they
they'll
see.
be what they see.
I think, strong Black men bequeath more strong Black men.
And
That's how you build
I do think
community.
it is happening because even now, a bunch of my friends, I'm a millennial. A bunch of
Right,
my friends that we went to high school, college, and they have kids. They're right there. They're right there. The narrative of absent black father is I'm not going to say it's gone, but it's changing,
it's changing.
and it's changing quick.
Right,
Now we still trying to figure out how to properly parent, and that's
right,
not a knock to the people that came before us. Each generation
right.
improves
That's right.
on the foundation that was laid before them.
That's right.
But when I look around in our communities where we see young men, young boys getting into the most problems, where by the time they are an adult, they got a longer rap sheet than I do.
Right. That's
I
a
find that like
huge
the
incident.
masculine energy is missing. That example is missing. No matter how kind, no matter how hardworking, it does not matter that they had a perfect example of a mom, grandma. It does not
Right,
matter if they are not taught how a man should move.
right.
And that's really the key. All appreciation to the women of the community because you're the ones that keep it going.
That's right.
You're the ones that keep it going. But
Hey, my mom raised me. I had a good mom. She raised me, so
yeah, you ain't doing too bad, man. You're
you
doing all
know,
right. Yeah.
I definitely think that one of the biggest things I think can make a huge change is that co-parenting skills. I
Mm,
mean, that's something that has been, I didn't realize it until I was in my 40s. It's like you have this person you have a child with, whatever relationship, marriage, whatever doesn't work out. Now you have this person you have a child with, but you're not in the same household, you're not in the same circle, and you still have
rules,
this
beliefs,
young
everything is
person
different.
who's depending on you to get along, to be a good example, and to pave the way for them. So most of us, without throwing these stones, We didn't get that course, you know. So I think co-parenting skills is one of the fastest way I think we can catch up
Mhm.
as far as getting our men up to speed. Because our women, they're kicking butt. I mean, it, the black women are basically are holding us down.
Well, they've had to be both sides for so
Right,
long,
right,
which leads to other. And again, it's with the co-parent,
right,
learning how to co-parent makes such a big difference because you as a man want for your woman, for your wife, your spouse, your baby mama, whomever,
right.
you want them to show you a certain level of respect. But this ain't the 80s, this ain't the 70s where
Right.
they rely on us to pay all their bills.
Nah,
They got money too.
right.
What you got that they don't? They don't need you. So what are you going to do to help
They're not
break
going to
that?
depend on you.
Yeah, well, she too strong-minded about what she had to be to survive.
Right.
So show her that she doesn't have to be that way. How do I do that? That's why we're here.
That's right.
We have to be that example. So I think that's gonna wrap it up for our first episode, guys. This is what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be picking some topics, we're gonna have some guests, we're gonna be talking about things, but overall, we really want to put this information out there for those fathers that just don't know. And lo and behold, just like any good building, you put a little bit of on the foundation here, a little bit on the foundation there, mark off a line here, mark off. Eventually, we'll get you on track to
That's right.
building the blueprint to be the perfect dad or something close to it. Something close to it. Derek, anything that you want to talk about as far as what Lift One is going to be doing or has coming up?
Yeah, Lift One, October the 2nd, Thursday, from 4 to 6 p.m. at Jack McClain Community Center. We're having our first event. We're going to have some AI mentoring. We're going to have some Python instruction. Bring the kids out. We're going to have the staff there. We just want to touch bases with the community, let them know we're here, get our foot in the doors, offer them programming, not just lunch or a trip, but offer them programming and skills that the fathers can build on and the kids can build on. So with Lift One, this is our first event. We're going to have several this year, several next year, but our goal is to get out in the community and give value as well as goods and services to the fathers to be better co-parents.
Absolutely. I love it. I'm loving it. If you have any questions about anything, you can leave it down in the comments. We'll put more information down in the show notes. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. And remember, this is for you, for the fathers, the dad blueprint.
For Fathers, the Dad Blueprint is brought to you by Lift One Inc. Follow, subscribe, and share For Fathers, the Dad Blueprint on YouTube at Lift One For Fathers or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Questions or comments? Email the podcast at liftoneforfathers@gmail.com. For more information on Lift One events, visit lift11.com. That's lift, the number one, one.com.